I wanted to ask you about HarperCollins Christian. How did you seek them out specifically for this book, or did you get to the book and then when did the scriptures that are in the book, were they added? Had you added those up front? Was
Oh no,
that with HarperCollins Christian?
no, I did. I was in Catholic school for 13 years, so I had a very strong working vocabulary with scripture and the original formation of the church into the Italian Renaissance. So yeah, none of that was HarperCollins Christian or Zondervan's decision. That was 100% mine, incorporating the Bible into the puzzles. And yeah, I mean, I really I have so much respect for the Bible and the philosophical and psychological ideals that are in the Bible, and like the ethics that you see modeled in the characters and the storytelling. And so I just wanted to include that and make sure that the kind of the foundation of Western storytelling was accounted for in the puzzles and like the difficult things that this kid has to do to go try and find his family.
And then it just happened to be a happy thing that HarperCollins Christian was looking for books. And
yeah, I mean, my book agent always loved the idea. It was so funny. I mean, in the process of getting feedback, one of the rejections, which you inevitably get rejected, but one person's rejection was, in 13 years of being a YA editor, this is the most commercial idea that's ever come across my desk. However, I can't get past the fart jokes. Okay. So yeah, I mean, my first came out here, or my book agent came out here. She's great, Adrienne Zerhelen, and she was like, I think the place for this might be at Zondervan, which was HarperCollins Christian, and they were looking to do a kids adventure book, and yeah, I was one of the reviews online, we have a few early reviews, and one of them calls it very wholesome, which I was worried that the book would not be fun to read. I was worried that kids would go into a library and be like 400 pages, but I'm thrilled how much the response has been. People have been able to like zip through it, and then this one review was like 4 stars out of 5, wholesome, fun. I enjoyed reading. However, just a dusting of scripture. So I'm only giving it 4 stars out of 5, which I get it. You know, like you're buying from a brand and you have expectations. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they are open-minded to understand that it is not in any way it's certainly not an anti-Christian book. It's just not as overtly Christian as I think they might have come to expect from the kind of HarperCollins Christian Zondervan brand.
Did they have any kind of expectations for you as far as what would go in the book, what couldn't go in the book, and how you would conduct yourself while promoting the book?
Oh, no, absolutely. Like, no, I mean, you know, you meet with them, they talk to people. I'm pretty sure if I'd have been on a Zoom and I looked like Marilyn Manson or something, they would have been like, all right, I know what is this guy up to? But no, absolutely no limits. And one of the editors, or I mean, my editor, Jackie Alberta, is like, she would get excited when I would, you know, talk about the humanism in the Christian iconography. I mean, like, that's what Da Vinci was doing. He was taking the stories that everybody understood, because you really only knew storytelling via the or it was the most standard story was the Bible. That like that's what you were culturally inculcated to in at that time. And he would take those stories and just make them so like vivid and touch into the kind of like ethics underpinning it. Like, you know, I mean, you look at the Last Supper, it's like Jesus was a great dude. He had a lot of friends. They loved to party with him. Like, you know, I mean, I can't imagine how much fun it would be to hang out with like the wedding at Cana Jesus, where he was like, "What? We only have 2 jugs of water. Bang! Knock yourselves out. Who wants to hang out?" Like that Jesus is a blast of a Jesus.
There's no way he walks away from that and then doesn't have to do that everywhere he goes for the rest of his life.
I mean, if you do that party trick once, there was a guy, I went to college with a guy who could do a backflip off of a picnic table. We would bring it up every time he would go to a new wedding. You'd be like, do you know what this guy can do? You can do a handspring off of a picnic table. So if you're turning water into wine, absolutely that's coming up.
And there's no way the Romans had heard that story, because if they had, he'd have been off that cross so fast. Hang on, we gotta go see some
fella. Not getting rid of this. So yeah, I mean, but that's like that's the Christian ideal that I think Da Vinci and a lot of the Renaissance painters leaned into. I mean, it kind of started with Dante and the Divine Comedy, but just making Christianity and the ethics that are the underpinning of Christianity and making them more relatable to humans. Like, that's humanism. And that is a philosophy I've always embraced.